Politics. Here we go. President Obama continues his campaign through Colorado today as Mitt Romney swings through both New York and New Jersey. And this morning, Romney's campaign is unleashing this new tough new attack here against the president, this new ad. What it does is it accuses him of trampling on religious freedoms with his newly enacted birth control mandate. Roll the clip.
Who shares your values? President Obama used his health care plan to declare war on religion, forcing religious institutions to go against their faith. Mitt Romney believes that's wrong. When religious freedom is threatened, who do you want to stand with?
I'm Mitt Romney, and I approve this message.
That ad slams the president for requiring insurance companies to cover birth control, even for employees of religious institutions. And Republican Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn is a Romney supporter. She is out and about in Virginia campaigning for him today. She's also a member of the Women for Mitt Coalition. Congresswoman Blackburn, welcome and good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Good to be with you.
Good to have you with us. Let's just begin as we started with that ad, sort of the news of the day. And so this ad that's out today really hinges upon this headline in this San Antonio newspaper. So let me just read the headline for you. This is from the San Antonio Express News. The headline is Obama Insurance Decision Declares War on Religion. But I have to point out two things here. One, this article is an opinion piece. It's an op-ed in this paper. And number two, it came out actually before the president made this compromise back in February, when he compromised putting birth control mandates on insurance companies and not on religious employers, right? So given those two, we'll call them caveats, do you find this ad misleading, Congresswoman?
Well, no, I think that when you look at what has transpired through HHS and the Secretary and the steps that they have taken progressively through the Obamacare debate, and let's go back to '09 and look at the conversations that were taking place around that bill. What they were trying to do was give more power to HHS and take it away from the states and from Congress, the elected representatives of the people.
Well, Congresswoman,
and as they did this, they came up. No. Let me establish the predicate. Let's establish the predicate on this, because what you have is, over 2,400 new mandates that are found in the Obamacare bill. One of these, and it was a subject of debate in Healthcare Subcommittee, in Energy and Commerce Committee, both where I sit, where I hold a seat on those committees. This was a subject of debate. Great discussion. This was not going to trample on any of the religious freedoms. It wasn't going to force, and you were supposed to be able to keep the insurance that you liked.
I know, but we're talking 2012, and we're talking about this compromise in the ad that is out today. This is an opinion piece. You don't think this ad is fair?
You are, but in order to look at the ad, you have to go back and look what transpired through the process, and the fact that this has all been, it's just like so many other things, whether it is the cost of insurance going up over $2,300, whether it's cramping the access to health care, whether it is forcing religious institutions. What you've got is the federal government and the Obamacare bill trying to limit your freedoms. It is going to increase your taxes. Supreme Court even says it's
I understand. Let me just jump in because I hear you and you're saying it's misleading. But I only have so much time, and I just want to get to another ad. It has been, all talked about really and hashed out on the networks and cable news for the last 48 hours. I know you know what I'm talking about. It's this Priorities USA, the pro-Obama super PAC. And so basically you have this laid-off steelworker blaming Mitt Romney for the death of his wife. I know you are calling on President Obama to ask this super PAC to yank the ad, but you know as well as I do, right? With the FEC rules, you can't have a candidate, you can't have the campaign directly coordinating, talking to these super PACs. So how exactly do you propose asking this of the president?
Well, I think that I've heard some of the transcript where Stephanie Cutter was actually involved in a telephone call, a press call with this individual, and this is such a sad ad to me, that this family would be pulled into this and this issue. There are so many you know what, this just needs to come off, and I think the president could indeed call that super PAC and say, you know what, let's get this thing down. This is disrespectful to the deceased. It is sad for the family. It has no place in this debate.
We'll be talking on a Democrat next hour, and I'll be posing that exact same question about possibly pulling this ad. So just to be fair, we'll be asking that. But I do want to talk to you because really the crux of this ad is, Congresswoman, about health care and how because this man was laid off from this as a steel worker, he lost his insurance. They filed for bankruptcy, lost his insurance. Ergo, down the road, his wife ends up dying. But in the whole ... here, we find out later that really it was 6 years later, and she actually did have insurance. But we're not gonna hash through that. What I do want to ask you is a Romney spokesperson. You have Andrea Saul getting on TV, and she provided a unique rebuttal to this. Take a look.
To that point, if people had been in Massachusetts under Governor Romney's health care plan, they would have had health care. There are a lot of people losing their jobs and losing their health care in President Obama's economy.
Reacting to that, Congressman, I just want to read a tweet from conservative Eric Erickson. He says, OMG. He says, OMG, this might just be the moment Mitt Romney lost the election. Do you think Andrea Saul just stuck her foot in her mouth?
I didn't hear the full interview, and I haven't seen the tweet, but I can tell you what I know about the Obamacare plan. I know that it's already doubled in cost. This is in year one, and those are not my numbers. Those are the CBO's numbers.
But she's bringing up the fact that
you've got the historic. No,
but she's bringing up the fact that he could have just gone to Massachusetts, and he would have been covered with insurance under Governor Romney's plan. She brings up Romneycare.
President Obama's plan is going to limit access to health care delivery.
But we're talking about Mitt Romney here.
And it's going to increase. It is going to increase the cost of health care insurance for individuals. You've got all these different states with different plans.
We're talking, and with all due respect, Congresswoman Blackburn, we're talking about Mitt Romney. We're talking about a Mitt Romney spokesperson. I'm specifically asking you to react to her comment, and we played the soundbite where she basically is saying, had this man, Mr. Sobek, gone to Massachusetts, where he would have had health care, perhaps that would have prevented his wife's death. It has nothing to do with Obamacare.
The point remains, Obamacare is what is on the table, and that is what is going to affect Americans. It is what has increased the cost of insurance for all of our small business employers. I hear from people every single day that complain about the cost of insurance going up and the amount that it is going up every single day.
Congresswoman, if I may,
that's the issue.
If I may, I just want to move on and just ask you about one other thing, because as we talk about so many of these ads here, elections are a couple months away and it's getting interesting. I want to talk about a Romney ad. This is not a super PAC ad. This is from the Romney campaign accusing the president of gutting the work restrictions when it comes to welfare. And we know, former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich has been very much so supportive here of Mitt Romney, but he spoke with Anderson Cooper last night. So listen to this.
You do think that the actual wording under Obama's plan, you wouldn't have to work, you wouldn't have to train for a job, they just send you a welfare check. That is not factually correct.
We have no proof today, but I would say to you, under Obama's ideology, it is absolutely true.
Two words I want to point out. No proof. Newt Gingrich doing fact-checking. How do you defend that?
Well, I think what you look at the executive order that came out. Why did President Obama, and ask the question, why did he feel like it was necessary to get rid of the work mandate and to diminish that? And
the question actually that I asked, Congresswoman, is how do you defend that when you have Newt Gingrich saying no proof?
I think that what I am doing is looking at the reason for this executive order. And when you tell those states that you do not have to have this in place, then the states, and I was a state legislator, I was a state senator in Tennessee, and one of the things that helped us with our Families First program was being able to look at those work requirements and incentivize work. That is how the states have been able to to remove and to diminish and to help individuals move to productivity and jobs and work and have these success stories that they tell. It is a way that they have been able to certainly get the cost of welfare and assistance and appropriately placed assistance and to really do some good.
We all want some good.
Our
we all want some good done.
Yes, and our Family First program in Tennessee was very successful because of that.
Okay, Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn.
I think you have to ask the question.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate the conversation. We'll keep it going. Joining me live from Virginia this morning. As I mentioned a moment ago, coming up next hour from Team Obama.